morning, guys. Happy marathon day. Typical me, I'm like running late somehow. Just heading to the tube now to get to the starting point. I'm meant to be there by like 10:36. I was aiming for 10:30, but I think I'm gonna miss that. So I'm gonna be probably a little bit late. That's fine. So in terms of kitted up, this is the outfit. I've got my jacket on now and I've got my little bag that's currently empty. That's gonna have my, I'm gonna chuck my jacket in. My partner's gonna meet somewhere along the route and it's gonna have a few extra supplies and stuff that I couldn't fit or that I think he might need, whatever, so I can get stuff from him along the way. In terms of like what I've packed on me, I've got my water obviously. I've got some more medication that I'm gonna take sort of a bit before the start to help the cold. That's kind of what I'm most nervous about, is just feeling like shit and sick on the route. But anyway, stocked up on Percy Pigs. I've got some dried apricot if I want something else. But honestly, just gonna be filling off Percy Pig probably. And I had a pretty fat breakfast, as you guys would have seen. So hopefully we're good to go. This is it. This is the day. Ah. We got this, guys. We got this.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you. Guys, I'm here. So, just waiting now for my wave to be called. Sorry, it is a bit noisy. I've just done my bag drop. I've just taken some of medication. Oh my god, I can see people running over there. That's so sick. All the way over there. I've done a cheeky wee. I've taken my medication to hopefully prevent any unwanted poo stops along the way. I'm just gonna do a quick warm-up stretch and then we're ready to go. Holy crap! It's here! I'm so excited. I'm honestly so excited. I can't wait. 3 kilometers in. 8 kilometers in. 11 k's in.
Am I recording? Yeah. How are we doing? Oh, you're smashing it. I can't track you at all, so I'm guessing.
I don't know miles. I saw you like 8 miles, and I don't know what that means.
Pizza Hut. I'm going to give you land markers.
Tell me kilometers.
You're killing it, Bean. 8 miles, 1.6, 12 Ks. Let's go. You're doing good, Bean.
Can I have a beer at the end?
Yeah, of course. My little runner, yeah. Oh, so proud. How are you feeling? What's the current update?
I feel like okay, like first 10k was fine. I'm not listening to music or anything, like crowd's kind of pushing me through.
Nice.
I am getting a bit tired though, but it's gonna keep.
That's right, you're doing exceptionally well, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Try and catch you after you do this little loop. I'll try and catch you after this little loop. I don't know, they're closing a lot of the stations, so I gotta make up my route as I go.
Yeah, okay.
So I might have to walk and meet you and cut off, and that's good. Still loaded on stuff.
They're so hard. Bloody UK, they're like so. I'm just eating people's stuff along the way.
People's stuff.
They're giving me out like lollies and things. Handing out lollies and stuff.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
All right, I'm gonna keep going.
All right, love you, Bean.
Love you.
I'll see you in another couple miles.
Okay, bye. Love you. 16 k's in. feeling a little bit tired. But the atmosphere is really good. Oh, guys, I'm 26 k's in. Oh, I've hit a bit of a wall. Just gonna keep pushing at the next stop where I see my partner, which I don't know where he is right now. I need to take more medication. My nose is running and I'm very sore, so I want some painkillers. I'm currently just shuffling. It's a shuffle slash a walk at the moment. Just riding the pain wave and hoping that it'll dissipate shortly. I'm 30 k's in, guys. I did have a little bit of a second wind. It's gone again. I feel sick. Quite frankly, I feel sick. Just gonna keep pushing through. Hoping I'll see my partner any moment with cold and flu meds.
Let's go, Bean!
32 kilometers. We're back running, guys. Guys, I just passed and met Millie Pickles. We're so close, we're at 37 k's now. I have got a bit more of a wind about me, but I meet someone like that and she's doing it, like anyone can. She's very inspirational. Pleasure to meet her. Pleasure to be doing a marathon with her. Almost 37 k's. Oh, we're so close now. The atmosphere is wild. Where's the, what's it called? Tower of London? That one. Just past 39 k's. We're on the Thames. London Eyes. Over there. Oh, we're so close, guys. $40 k's down. 2 more to go. So close. So close. I can see the finish line. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close.
Let's go!
We're done. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not crying, I'm crying. What are you talking about? Of course, there's first marathon food. Guys, I'm sitting in the dark with my medal. I can't believe it's all over. What a crazy ride. I am a little bit dead and obviously still sick. So I'm gonna do a full debrief probably tomorrow when I'm hopefully a bit more recovered. I'm so happy. I absolutely lost it, bawling my eyes out at the finish line just from happiness and probably a little bit of relief as well because it was fucking hard, but it was amazing and I'm so proud of myself. And yeah, this is gonna be my personality now. So anyway, I'm gonna update you guys tomorrow. For now, I'm literally dead. My boyf has gone to get some food and I honestly expect to eat this and probably fall asleep like an hour later. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It has been 2 days since marathon and I thought I'd jump on and give a little bit of a roundup summary now that it's been a few days and it's all sunk in. Obviously I've got my medal on, which has now actually been engraved, so you can see my name and my time. So let's talk through it. So first of all, like, the day was amazing. It was such a great experience. So basically getting there, somehow I was like running late. Not like running late, but I was just like running a bit slower than I wanted to be to get to the start line. And getting there, it was really funny as well. It was actually very confusing. When I went to the tube station, the first stop, which I think was the Charing Cross, there was like not many people on my tube. And I was like, wow, am I really that late that like nobody's getting on the train right now? Then eventually I met up with two people, one from Ireland and one from America, who also had no idea where they were going. And we managed to find someone and swap over to the correct train and get to Blackheath, which was the starting point. It was so crazy. So I would have filmed, I think, setting up there, but it was basically this massive field. And you had a little pack, which for me didn't really have anything in it except my jacket, which I took off and put in the pack before I started. And it was so like cold and windy up there. And I didn't realize at the time, but they do this thing for the marathon where you can basically, people go to like a charity shop the day before and buy like heavy jumpers and stuff, and you wear them to the start line. And basically right before you start, there's these like little charity bags on the side and you just throw your clothes to the side and then all the clothes get donated to charity. So very smart idea, which I didn't know anything about. So I didn't have anything warm on me for like probably like 45 minutes to an hour before I started. So shivered a little bit, but it was fine. And then we got started. Basically, so I did a shakeout run the day before with my coach Finn and like a few people from his coaching group. And Finn basically said to us like, you will get caught up in the atmosphere. Try not to go too quickly off the line, which like obviously. And he's like, I want you to keep in mind that your race really starts at the halfway mark. I didn't listen to this. I kind of ignored this, not purposely, but the atmosphere was so good and I was feeling so good on the day. Like I didn't even put AirPods in to start and I just ran. And I went at somewhat of a quicker pace, like not ridiculously fast, but just sort of like a fast pace for me. I was sweet, feeling so good for the first like 5, 10, 15 Ks. I think I was good. And then it sort of slowly started to go downhill and I was good till about the halfway mark. And I think after the halfway mark, I started to really battle. Honestly, you kind of like just don't think about it. I think for me, so my partner was running, like meeting me at different points along the track. And it was so hard for him to get around to different places as well, because obviously there's different places, like different tube stations are shut and all these roads and everything shut. So I think when I met him, it was probably like, I think it was around like the 8 mile mark, whatever that works out to be in kilometers. So it was a bit further down. And because I obviously wanted to stop and like chat to him and say hello and let him know how it was going, I think that was great, but also kind of didn't do me well because when I stopped, I found it really hard to get going again. I think I really battled. So I think everywhere between like probably the halfway mark, like 22 kilometers, even for like 10 Ks was like a real battle. Like it was a lot of walking and a lot of jogging. And then what I did mentally to get myself out of that, because I was really battling, I put my AirPods in and I listened to this podcast with Cassie Attorney that was basically like, which people had told me I should listen to before the marathon, but I didn't. But I put it in now, which was basically like, don't need to run to a specific time and like, why are you really running for a time? Like you should be running for yourself, sort of thing. Anyway, so put that podcast in. I put in also a couple of podcasts in and I listened to that trying to just get my head back in the game. And also, guys, I think maybe it was Lucy. One of the podcasts was basically like, you will have moments in the marathon where you really feel the pain and it's literally like a wave of like the pain. So you kind of just have to ride the wave and know that you are going to come out okay and like feel good again. So that was really good for me to hear because I was like, oh my God, is this me like harking it like halfway through? Like this is not good. But then it was just like that reminder, like, no, you will feel better again. Like you just kind of got to push through and it is very much like a mental game. So that was really good. And then what I also did to try and get myself going again is because they have paces along the way, which is basically people that wear these massive flags sticking out of their back that tell you if you want to finish within a certain time, they set the pace for that time, basically. So I found someone that was setting like a decent pace that I was like, oh, hopefully this will get me going again. And what he was actually doing was running, stopping, running, stopping. When I say stopping, running, walking, running, walking. And I was like, great, maybe that's what I need just to get back into it. And so I did that, which got me going again for a good few kilometers. I think maybe 3 or 4 Ks, that's what I did. And it actually helped me pick up my pace quite a bit, which is funny because you were running and walking, but his run pace was significantly quick. Like, it was very much like a charge. So I did that for a bit, and then I started to get a significant amount of knee pain. And basically, I don't know what I've done. Like, I've always had runner's knee on and off, but this didn't feel like runner's knee. From the moment I got on the plane from Sydney, like on the plane ride over, I did start to feel like a weird pain and like stiffness in my right knee. And that started to hit home again. And also because I haven't been well, I've had that cold, I basically just started to feel really crappy. I think it was around the 30k mark. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to review the footage and maybe it will make sense when you guys have seen it all. But I started to feel really crappy at some point, feeling really sick and a lot of knee pain. And so I messaged my partner madly being like, whenever I meet you next, I need painkillers and I need cold flu tablets like ASAP, because I'm like battling that right now. I think at that point I started to slow down. I lost the pacer completely, and I was literally like reminding myself like I don't need to hit a specific time. It's my first marathon. I want to enjoy it. Get the idea of timing out of my brain. And then met up with my partner and I think it'll be in the footage of me absolutely like walking, just feeling like miserable at that point, being like and then I took painkillers and stuff again. And then I sort of got going again. So I think around, it was like maybe the 32, 33 kilometer mark, I started to get my groove back a little bit. I started to feel good and come good again. And from then on, yes, there was some walking, but it wasn't as often. And I was able to keep a solid like plod of a jog up. That got me through the rest of the race. And particularly by the end, like when you hit the city of London, by the time we're running along the Thames, we're getting close to the end, like the last few kilometers, like maybe the last 4 or 5 kilometers, the atmosphere just gets more insane. And the atmosphere was insane the entire way through. Like, they do not lie to you. People, like, the amount of people that come and support is just insane. There are kids high-fiving you all along the way. There are people with outrageously funny and hilarious motivating signs along the way. There are bands playing. There are people singing. There are choirs. Like, there were people handing out beer. Like, it was just insane. People handing out food and lollies. And as I will have mentioned in one of the clips, like, there was a point, because I trained off Percy Pigs in London, and that's exactly what I was relying on for the marathon, I didn't realize, and slash I just didn't click, that buying Percy Pigs here, because of the weather, they are so much harder and so much harder to chew. Whereas in Sydney, I just take a little bite and they just melt away. And I didn't practice this before the run. And so when I tried my first Percy Pig, I was like, holy shit, it's actually a real struggle to chew. I think that was probably the one thing. There's a couple things I think I would change if I could do it again. And the one thing would be probably not relying on Percy Pigs. I think nutrition-wise, I sort of did fall down at that point. Like, I did have the dried apricot, but I was scared to take them. So I basically just relied on a lot of sweets that people were handing out, and I had some oranges that people were handing out, and that went really well. The other thing is, there was so many water stops along the way as well. Like, they were so good at giving out water. I probably didn't even need to carry my water pouches, but I think it was probably a good thing to have. But had I known how frequent the water stops were, I probably wouldn't have taken the pouches with me. The great news, which I know we're all dying to hear about and has been a struggle throughout my entire training journey, the toilet situation. Everyone will be very, very pleased to know I did not have to stop once during the race at all to use a toilet. This is the TMI part, which anyone who doesn't want to know this can skip through. But for anyone who's been following the toileting journey, what I did is I ate for breakfast, as you will have seen, a fat bacon and egg bagel, which, don't ask me why I decided to do that at the last minute, but I had it at the breakfast the day before and I was like, this is a good filling breakfast. Like, it's a lot of carbs and it's got that little bit of protein because I had 2 eggs. So I decided to have that for breakfast, and then half a bagel with some Nutella on it as like a snack as well, and then some fruit. So that was my breakfast, and I let that digest for about 2.5 hours, and then I went to the toilet, did my business, and then I took 2 gastro stops, and let me tell you, it worked bloody amazing. It was the best thing. I didn't have to go to the toilet at all. I did use the loo, like a portaloo, when I first got there, just to do like a pre-run wee, which I think was mainly nerves. And then I was fine. The rest of the race was absolutely fine. That was the best thing ever. So I was really, really happy with that. The portaloo lines were crazy throughout the entire race, particularly, I think they calmed down a little bit towards the end, but most of the race, like every time I hit a portaloo, the lines were like excessively long. So I'm really glad I didn't have to stop for any of those. Kind of jumping around a little bit. But when I got to the end of the race, it was actually really amazing because I remember I was feeling really tired by this point. And obviously I was like literally in the wave that went last. Like, I was in wave number 18. So I was at the very end of the pack. So I knew I'd be finishing towards the end, but it was like really good. Like, when I got there, I was feeling really tired, but the atmosphere was so intense. Like, I remember getting towards Buckingham Palace and I slowed down slightly and I was looking at my watch And I think I must have almost started walking, and instantly there was a girl on the side. She's like, come on girl, like you got this, only 1 kilometer left. And I was like, okay, and I kept running. And yeah, it was just like a crazy good atmosphere. Along the way, I think there was really 2 cool people I got to see along the way, like 2 people that I guess inspiring to me. One of them was Lucy X Fit Horse. I think her name's Lucy Reeves. I actually just saw her supporting in the crowd, which was really cool because I remember following her London Marathon journey last year. So I thought that was really cool. So I said hello to her. And the other person I came across during the race was Millie Pickles. And if you guys don't know her, she's an amputee who wasn't even sure she was going to be able to complete the race. And I bumped into her sort of like, I think we're about the 35k mark, and when I saw her, she was having a bit of a low moment. She was struggling, and I just got to say hi and like say if she was okay, and she asked if I was okay, and it was really nice. And then another girl came along and bumped into her, and I ended up taking a photo of them, and I don't know why I didn't take a photo of her and I, but I just didn't feel like it was the right time. But anyway, the girl who also bumped into her and I got going again, her and I were just like having that moment of like, man, if she can do it, like we can do it. Like that is the last bit of inspiration we need to get us through to the end. So that was awesome. People said as well, once I finish a marathon, I'll like immediately want to sign up and do another one. I don't know if that's true. There's one other marathon that I would consider doing just for the location more than anything. But like it was definitely a really freaking hard day. Like I'm so glad I trained for it because yeah, it was really freaking tough. I wouldn't say that the day itself was like a breeze. Like people always say like, oh, you know, the train is the hard part, the day is like your victory lap. And like, yes, that's true. But also the day itself is really fucking tough. I was really fortunate because I knew so many people back home in Sydney were like supporting me as well. I was getting so many messages from friends and from my family and stuff. So that was really cool. But yeah, it was a really hard day, but it was absolutely phenomenal. And I cannot stress enough how amazing the crowd was. My partner was awesome. He followed me around as best as he could, went to the drugstore getting me some more pain and flu meds. It was really awesome. Got the medal. How freaking sick is this medal? I am never taking it off. I've worn it for the 2 days straight since I got it. It was very emotional when I finished. I absolutely sobbed at the finish line. I refused to let myself cry beforehand. I was like, you can cry when you get to the end. And also I just want to say thank you because a few people have messaged me saying like they followed me on YouTube and followed my journey and like wished me luck, and also people on Instagram. So thank you so much to anyone who's done that. Actually means the world. And yeah, that I think wraps up the marathon journey. So since the marathon, we have been staying in the Shard as like a little treat to ourselves. So I'm going to give you a quick little glance from my window as to what I'm looking at right now. It has been an absolutely awesome trip. If anyone has any specific marathon questions they want to ask me, please let me know. I think that about covers it, but I hope you guys enjoyed the marathon vlog, and I hope you enjoyed following my process and following my training journey towards the marathon. I'm so excited. We are on holidays for a couple more weeks now. We're heading to Scotland tomorrow, so we'll try and film some of my time in Scotland as well. And when I get back, I will tell you guys what's next on the cards, because I do have another thing that I will start training for as soon as I'm back in Sydney. And let me tell you, it's also another hard one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the marathon, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Remember, we do all things together here, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys.